All right, today we'll go over another motif for autumn leaves. I'll play it for you first and then describe it. Here I'm playing Autumn Leaves in the key of concert B flat. A minor transposed for the tenor saxophone. So this lick consists of some elements of things that we've seen before in previous licks. For instance, the eighth note rest that begins the lick, and then it goes on into an eighth note series with an eighth note going into a triplet pattern, another eighth note, which actually has a 16th note at the end, and ending on a quarter note. So the most important part of this lick is really these last three notes is where the musicality is. So if I play this lick again, it's really the ba-da-da that makes the lick, which is the 3-4. So if we count this lick out, it goes and 2 and a 3-4 and 2 and a 3-4. It's the 3-4 which we want to focus on and detail as the central theme of our motif here. So this is really the bread and butter of the motif here. The rest of it is really could be outlining the chord that you're playing, or it could really just supplement as like a run, right? So this is all I'm doing really is running up, going up to wherever my starting note is. In this case, I'm starting on D, right? So I'm going up from D to A, and then I'm hitting my... Now in the beginning, you heard me play it in 3 different ways. All I was doing there was taking the motif and bringing it down one step each time to the next note in the scale. So I was going from D, starting from D, playing it on D, and then going down to C and playing it from there. Then going down to B. And then putting an ending on there. It's stylistic preference, whatever you like. So I'll play that series again. So this is the motif on its own. Now I'll use it and make a pattern out of it. And that's when a motif is going to establish itself as such. A motif is not something, doesn't become a motif unless you repeat it and make it make a pattern out of it through your improvisation. And then it becomes a central theme. Otherwise, it's just a lick or a lick or a phrase. So here we go. Now, as we talked about in the previous video, when we covered an improv that I was doing over Autumn Leaves, we can also play this in major thirds as well. We can do that going up. So I'll just play it in the scale series going upwards to hear how that sounds. One more time. Again, the ending, I'm kind of improvising on, doing something stylistic that I think will sound good. But what we want to focus on here is this series, and especially these last 3 notes at the end of it. So again, you can do this in major thirds as well. That was me just playing it up the scale series instead of down the scale series. So I'll play this again. Down the scale series. Now up the scale series, starting from D. Now, I'll skip the E and play it a major third, and go up to, or a minor third, sorry, and go up to F major. So there, going up the scale series, I was playing D, then starting on E, and then starting on F. This time, I'll skip the E and go straight to F. There, I actually played it around the chord. So I started on D, went to E, or excuse me, F natural, which would be a minor third, and then I went up to A natural, which if you take those notes, that makes a D minor chord. So you can perceive that as taking this lick sequence motif and playing it around a certain chord. That would be this motif played around the chord of D minor. The intervallic relationship of the notes is as follows: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 6. Now, obviously, that's a much easier way to remember licks and document licks into your playing. It's not just to have them in your fingers, but to have them in your memory, not as notes necessarily, but as intervals. The rhythmic signature and the intervallic signature of the lick or musical passage will be amongst the most important information you'll need to reproduce that lick and make it a part of your vocabulary. So going forward, if we're going to use this lick in an improvisation, then what I really want to be thinking here is this lick is centered around 1 through 3, 4, 5, 7, 6. So I'm taking that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 6 pattern and moving it around where I see fit throughout my improvisation. And I can do what I just did there. As you can see, there's a lot of different ways to play it, and none of them sound particularly odd or strange. Like, it works wherever you want to make it, wherever you want to put it. And you can be more specific to how you want to do it as far as where the chord changes are. If I want to do it in major thirds and follow, major or minor thirds and follow the triad, or if I just want to play it up the scale sequence. Or, I mean, you could even maybe play it chromatically. But the idea is to have that intervallic relationship in your head, in your fingers, and be able to move that pattern around at will throughout an improvisation. And that will create your motif. So, going forward, what I'll do here is I'll take that motif and play it over a backing track of Autumn Leaves in B flat, and use this motif all throughout. One thing I'm going to particularly trying to do is take this motif and use it against the E7 chord. E7 for the transcription, for the saxophone transcription. So for the B flat tenor sax transcription, there's an E7 that occurs multiple times throughout this piece. And that E7 really gives us the ability to accentuate the harmonic minor scale in the tune. So this tune on the tenor saxophone is basically played in the key of A minor. But when that E7 comes up, that gives us some more tension to play with. That E7 brings in a G sharp, and that G sharp is a major 7 of the A minor scale. And that major 7 will give us the harmonic minor scale, the A minor harmonic minor scale. So instead of this resolution, it's now so that's something that I'm going to try to work into my improv in particular with this pattern. I hope you enjoy.